Thank you for joining me. My name is Tina Kavergich. I'm very excited to be showcasing the beautiful butterflies. It's actually a sweet collection on page number 39 of the mini catalog. It's a really great set. The Beautiful Butterflies bundle, and that includes a stamp set and the hybrid embossing folders along with the dies. Now these are absolutely fantastic. Take a look on page number 39. The paper is absolutely gorgeous. What I found out about the paper, it actually matches the majority of the other designer series papers that are found out throughout the catalog, and this is a really great designer series paper to add in. It works really well as an accent color for any of the other DSPs. But in particular, what I'm going to be showcasing today is the Beautiful Butterflies, the stamp set here, the hybrid embossing folder, and the dies here. And now this is really interesting, and you're going to see here, I'm going to show you a little later, this one piece of die that actually cuts out little butterflies. It is absolutely stunning. Very, very pretty. I'm going to be showcasing some of this. Let's take a look at some of the dies that are in here. Now there are 12 dies altogether in this collection. So with the 12 dies, there's two that are labels. There we go. We got two that are labels. There's one that's a side butterfly, and that matches the one right here. The ones with the labels, they do match some of the sentiments that are in here. This one butterfly die here matches one of the butterflies in here on the stamp set, and it works really, really nicely. There are two little butterflies that when they are cut out, they can add these little accent pieces right here. And if you want to have little bodies, there are two little butterfly bodies that are in here that match this smaller butterfly. So there are two that are in there. There is a larger butterfly, and I'm going to bring him in, and that looks like this one, and he does match the one in this stamp set here. You can kind of work him on a little bit, but actually what happens is he works a little bit better off by himself, and you're going to take that large butterfly body and that will go on him just like that. What's really cool about this particular die here is you can cut out the shape of the butterfly just like that with him on the outside, using this on the outside, and to get the negative space on the inside of that butterfly, you're going to take the other die that is with this, the one with really pretty little wings, and you're going to lay it inside and run it through. And when you run it through like this, the two together will come out with this image that you have here. What's really interesting about that is you can use just this image by itself. You can use the image that is from the die with the butterfly. This is what it cuts out, and it is that one in particular. Again, it matches the butterfly body here, so that's that one there. Or say you want to have all three, 1, 2, 3. Take a look what I've done with this piece of cardstock. I cut out the outside image of this butterfly. And this is going to turn really interesting. We're going to put this on top. Look at this, the coloring on that. And then we can put on the little butterfly body here, and it looks absolutely stunning. The yellow and the black looks really nice, but any other color would look really nice. Now, those are some of the dies that we have here. One of the most special dies in this set is this one in particular, and you'll notice that on the top here, it looks like little hinges. And what happens is, what you're going to do is you're going to line that up on a card base. Say, if you want to do a butterfly that completely cuts out, you're going to line this up on the edge, and it's folded over, and you're going to run it through, and this will cut 1 and then 2 on the other side all the way through. And I have a card for a sample like that, and it is a very, very interesting on what you could do. So there I hinged it on the top here, and I cut 2 butterflies out. I left the top hinge so that when it comes out like this, you can see just the butterfly flips up, and there it is, hinged right here in the little corners. Okay, so that's one idea what you could do with that butterfly. Again, I did the outline, and there's the inside of that butterfly on some designer series paper from Celebration. There we go, placed it on side. There's the body, and this is from the embossing folder with the little butterflies. I placed him right in the center because if I turn him over, there is a large butterfly in the center of the embossing folder. Very, very pretty, and it does give a very unique look to that. So that is with it just hinged on the edge. Another thing what you could do is you can open this up, and you can just cut it on an envelope. Say there's a piece like this, you're going to have one piece, and it would hinge on just like that. So there we go. It is hinged on the top, and you just do a little fold on there. And let's take a look. I'm going to show you on a black piece. What I had just done is I had cut it out. Just imagine that that is along the edge. All I'm going to do is take my scissors, and I'm just going to snip. I would snip this right off like that, nice and straight on the left and the right. There we go. Just take your time. And imagine that this was, say, hinged onto another piece of black, and that would look really cool. This obviously would be a little thinner, just like we have right there. Very, very pretty. And it does add a really nice design there. Okay, take a look at that. What you can also do is, say you have an outline of a butterfly. You can take this card and take a negative image, and you can lay this on top, and you could take your blending brushes and you can blend in on this area of your butterfly and place it kind of like underneath. You just kind of line them up a little bit, and you would use a blending brush and place them on like that. I'm going to show you a couple of different card ideas, and then we will I'm going to show you a couple of different card ideas, but first let's take a look at the embossing folder. I wanted to showcase this off. This is a hybrid embossing folder, and what you would do is you would take your paper and your butterfly, and you would pop him inside, lay him down, lay your piece of paper, and then you would put the paper through and run him through, and he would turn out to be embossed on that cardstock, just as if it was on here. So you can cut them out, and this image will show up, or you do not need to use the dies and just use it like a regular embossing folder. Some card designs that you can create. What I did here is I took the butterfly paper here. You can barely see it, and what I did is in here, the center of the embossing folder is, remember that large butterfly? There's that image, and I kind of centered him and placed him around, and I stamped one of the butterflies in Memento Black and cut him out and placed him on top, and just did a simple birthday along the bottom. As I talked about with the negative, I also took some of the new masking stencils, and I placed this on top, and I blended with the blending brush the base color for the butterfly, then placed the mask on top, and came out with some images on that one, like there. I wanted to showcase some of the embossing again. Here we go, along with the absolute beautiful die that is with the butterfly with these little wings. I think that is absolutely stunning. This one butterfly with the wings on top really makes a really great design. I just love that. One of the simple cards you could do just with the stamping is what I did is I did some blending brushes around the edges, stamped the colors of whatever color I wanted, and stamped a variety of butterflies. And this can be just done with the inks and the stamps, and that's it. And it turns out absolutely beautiful along with it. What I wanted to showcase here is I took the butterflies, I stamped it in black on white, and then I took my Stampin' Blends and I colored it in. And again, you can see the embossing folder on the back here, and I just made a card just like that. I think it's really stunning. I wanted to kind of highlight the colors of the butterfly there. Another design, what I had done just with ink, is stamped a variety of butterflies on here in various colors that I wanted the best. I thought would look really nice, and I added a sentiment. I really like this stamp set. I found that there is so much to do with this. There are some like little dots here. These wings are for the butterfly, so when you say emboss, die cut him out, you can stamp the wings. It looks really nice. The sentiment, it looks really well on a lot of the cards. Some of this. Let's take a look at a card I'm going to create. What I want to do first is get a piece of cardstock, and I chose Balmy Blue here, and it's 4 1/4 by 11 inches long. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing some scoring, and I'm going to score it at 5.5 and again at 9. So let's take that in here, and I'm going to score it first at 5.5. I'm going to place it in here and score it at 5.5. Okay. And I'm going to move it down, and I'm going to score it at 9 inches. So I'm going to fold it once here and back up so it's in the center right there. So there's the fold, the first one, and then the second one here. I'm going to leave this off to the side for a minute, and we're going to cut some more pieces for the outside. I'm going to be using black and balmy blue. So there's a piece of black 4 by 5 1/4. And what's going to happen is that's going to go on the inside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut also a piece of white to go on top of that. So we're going to layer that. And I'm just going to put the pieces together so that you can see it. And then we're going to walk through some of the other portions of it. Okay, on the outside, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that up, and I'm going to bend this down. And what we're going to do, I'm going to bend that back, and I'm going to be placing a piece again, which is a piece of basic black right there on that piece right here, 3 1/4 by 4 inches, and place another piece of white on top. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold this back on itself, and we're going to take another piece of black, and we're going to mat it on top just like that. There we go. And what I'm going to do, instead of white, I'm going to take a piece of the designer series paper, and I'm just going to lay it on top just like that. Now, before I go any further, what I want to do is I'm going to do some embossing. I want to emboss the top white one and a portion of the bottom half. Now, I'm only going to emboss up to this line right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my embossing folder, and I would take it in here, and I'm going to emboss a little bit. Now, I don't want to get the large butterfly in there. You can see him kind of on the bottom. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of tuck it up into the corner here, and I'm going to use this portion here to emboss. And again, I'm going to emboss this top part, and I will do the whole piece on that. So let's kind of get this apart. And I'm going to lift this up. And what we're going to do is, so I'm just going to slip him in. And it was roughly right about there. I will get a little bit of the large butterfly wing in there, but that's okay. I don't mind at all. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to emboss this So I have this piece embossed. You can see it's not completely embossed all the way to the top. Oh my goodness, look at those butterflies. They look absolutely stunning. I want the majority of what I'm going to be doing here. So my sentiment and my writing would be up here. So when it's closed, you only see that portion. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this piece of white and I'm going to emboss the whole piece. I'm going to tuck it in here again. There we go. I'm going to tuck it in the corner there again. Get some of that butterfly in there. Line it up as best as I can. And we're going to emboss that piece too. This looks absolutely stunning either from the front or the back. Look at that. It is absolutely beautiful. And what I can do is now is kind of lay them on top of each other, and I'm going to be gluing them down. So I don't lose any pieces. Let's just glue some of these down. Get some glue on there. I'm just going to line that up. Looks really, really pretty. Let's do that for this second piece also. Looks really great, and let's add it to the card base. Close that up, and I'm going to place it on the outside here. And we'll just glue that onto the outside. Make sure it's nicely even all the way through. Okay, there you go. So this now looks like one full piece. Okay. Oh, this is coming together so nicely. Again, we're going to add a little bit of black here. Kind of line it all up. There we go. And we're going to place our piece of designer series paper on top. Now it's kind of tough. I don't know which side to use. I think I'm going to use that side. It looks really nice. As I said, this DSP works really nicely as an accent piece on many things. There we go. So we have this portion. Like this so far. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of the designer series paper, and a piece of black. So remember that large body, we're going to be using that. I'm also going to be using this die on this piece of designer series paper. I'm just going to place that down. Place that. That is just used for sticking, and I've placed a little bit on here. What I'm also going to do is get a piece of black, and what I'm going to do is put it on a piece of black like this, and we're going to die cut him out. So the items we're going to die cut is the large wing portion, the body, and the shape of the butterfly itself. So let's go die cut those out. And as we bring them back in, those will die cut out very nicely. Let's take a look. That one is pretty out. We're going to take out some of those wing portions. Here we have the little body for that. There we go. He's right there. And the last piece is the designer series paper, which is cut out like so. What I'm going to do is we are going to be layering these guys up. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the wings because I want to glue that down. Now you can use adhesive sheets if this helps you a little bit better, or if you're really good with gluing, those on. And all we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to glue him on top of that image. I'm going to try and get him in the center as best as I can. And again, we're going to add some glue to this guy here, to the little body. Kind of line him up. Oops, here we go. It's wiggling around on us. Let's bring back in our card. And what I want to do is I'm going to be layering this guy right on top of that other. I'm going to place him on with dimensionals. Now just be careful on where you place him because you don't want to glue completely on the whole card. You just want it on that spot that is going to be connecting to that card piece right there. So I'm going to pop him on there like this. A bit off an angle, just make sure that he is not falling off the card or longer than the card itself. Back him up a little bit. Make sure his wings come up. And all we need to do is we need to add a sentiment. So let's take a look at what we got. And I'm going to use the designer series paper. So here we go. Pop that off to the side. I'm going to get some designer series paper. And let's take a look at the sentiments that we can choose from. So there are some, and all I need to do is kind of lay them on and see which one looks really good. There's the one that says happy birthday, so thankful. Oh, does that happy birthday? Doesn't. I'm just going to layer these around and see which one fits. I think I like that happy birthday on there. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just stamp that. There we go. And I use Memento black ink. I'm going to stamp on there. Turned out really good. And let us cut that out. Okay. And there's our sentiment, and we're just going to add that with a little bit of dimensionals on the back to that. There we go. Now there are so many different things that you can see and do with this stamp set, and they're really, really cool designs that they have for the dies. This is a really great set. I love this. Yeah, I know it is just more butterflies, but I think this is a great way to utilize a lot of the dies that they have in this. I think it's a really great set. In particular, I like the idea of that. I really like the idea of that hinged little butterfly that they have here. Very cool, very fun to work with. I hope this has given you some ideas on what you can use with this bundle. It's really pretty. It's a lot of fun to work with. And I think you can get a lot of great stuff and use out of this. I hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget, stay tuned for some more great ideas coming up.